Hello and welcome to S&G Golf, the channel that explores ways to have more fun on the course. I'm Tom Jackson and today we're going to play the back nine of McCormick Woods. Now the goal of the video today is simple, to find some flaws in my game that I can work on before my next round. McCormick is one of my favorite courses in the Seattle area, so this is going to be a hoot. Let's get started.
The 10th is a short par 5. It's a great starter hole. The right side of the fairway is to be avoided because you won't be able to find your ball in there, and if you do, you won't be able to play it. The smart play is to drive it to the right center to avoid the tree on the left, and then hit an approach to the left center to avoid the death zone on the right. But smarts are elusive. From the tee box, you see a nice open fairway. I'm aiming towards the cart path on the right there. Apologies here for the lack of shot tracers. You're going to just have to use your imagination. They're kind of a hassle to add, so I just didn't. Had a great drive, but that second tree on the left fooled me on my approach. You can see from the bill of my hat that I'm aiming too far right. I should have hit like a low punch shot just right of that tree, because even if you hit the tree, you only have 150 or so yards in. But that's not what I did. So naturally I hit it into the junk and then dropped here about 90 yards out. Hit a good approach shot, maybe 12 feet left of the pin, but check out how much my head moves up and down through the swing. We'll talk more about this later. I didn't film this, but I had like an easy 2-putt from there, so I knocked it in and went on to the next hole. The 11th hole is the longest par 3. There's a great bail out area on the left for us chickens, so there's no reason to take on the flag. And right of the hole is pretty messy, so the S&G move is to play this hole on a closer tee box where you stand a better chance of actually hitting the green, but of course I didn't. Not surprisingly, I left it short and left. I had this chip, and it was a little chunky and left me with a pretty long first putt. Chipping is probably my biggest weakness, but this wasn't as crazy bad as some of my chips. I didn't love the tempo on that putt. It seemed like a poppy stroke, and I left it way short. And as you'll see, I'm gonna do another poppy, poor tempo putt here and miss it. So, 3 putts. The 12th here is a visually stunning par 4. It's one of my favorites. The landing area is maybe 30 feet down, and the trees on the right hide a marsh that you really need to avoid at all costs. A drive to the left side of the fairway gives you a good angle into the green, while a drive to the right will give you, best case, like a soggy lie with an approach blocked by those trees. So if you're a slicer, again, consider yourself giving yourself a break by moving it forward a box. I hit a great drive here and had a clear look to the pin with a wedge in my hand. The green looks inviting from the fairway, but you want to miss it to the left because there's a 10-foot drop to the right. I failed to think about that miss, and I managed to dump it to the right. So I'm blaming poor planning and my bobbing head on that one. The 15th is a friendly looking par 5 with a twist. It has one of the most convoluted green complexes on the course. The landing area for the drive is pretty generous, with the right side of the fairway giving a better look to the green on your layup. I hit a pretty good drive on this one, down to the right side. So you'll see that here in a minute. I was left with about 300 yards. I have a 5-wood, excuse me. And then it went nice and straight. Really pleased with that one. Left me with about a 100-yard approach here. And again, I put a decent swing on this, but if you watch my head, it really moves up and down again a lot. Probably because of all that body motion, I managed to airmail everything and then had this chip to get back into play. The 13th is my nemesis, a really tough par 4. The drive is narrow and intimidating with a tree on the left and a bunker on the right. The miss for the drive is short of that bunker, but then you have a really long uphill approach. My wish came true here. I'm on the right side and short of that bunker, but now I have a mission impossible. 180 yards, steeply uphill, playing 210. So instead of praying to the golf gods, I teed it up a bit. You know, I need like a 3-wood to carry 210, and I knew that my over-the-top swing would not launch the ball high enough if I played the ball off the deck. Pretty sure I've never hit this green in 2, let alone with a 3-wood, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself here. 2 putts later, I had a tee-assisted par on my number 1 handicap. The 15th is a 90-degree dogleg right. It's possible to sneak your ball through the trees on the corner there, but it's really not advisable for us hackers. There's just too many things that can go wrong in there, and if you hit a decent drive to the fairway left, you can get an approach inside of 150 yards, which is my magic number. So I pulled off the drive and had a doable uphill 160-yarder. My lie here was very muddy again, so I teed it up just to avoid this slop. You know, I'm a big believer in this trick to make winter golf more fun, and it worked out here. Somehow my approach ended up close to the pin again, and I managed to sink my only longish putt of the day for a tee-assisted birdie. The 16th is an inviting uphill par 4. Just right of the fairway in the landing zone is a swampy area, whereas the left side of the fairway is a slope that will kick your ball back into the fairway. So by all means, aim center left. I hit another good drive here just right of center, and once again I had about 160 yards uphill. This is another green you do not want to miss right. Unfortunately, I hit it decently just short of the green, and it trundled up pin high. You'll notice I used my tee assist again just to get it out of the mud. The 14th played to 160 yards from the white tees. The green is protected with bunkers, and right of the green is a slope that will push bad shots way downhill. The miss is therefore long left. So I hit a good 6-iron to my preferred miss spot, and then I had this chip to get home. I'm a yippy chipper, and I discovered a while back that I'm much less yippy when chipping with one hand. I used to be sheepish explaining this to people, but most golfers relate to the yips. All right, almost done. We're at the 18th. It used to be a par 5, but the homeowners on the right side of the fairway raised a stink after being bombarded for too many years. So a few years ago, the course yielded and moved the tee boxes forward to make a par 4. The right side of the landing area is a slope that pushes drives back to the center and of the fairway, so the hole is now a slicer's delight. I hit a good drive and had a 9-iron in, and despite my dancing head here, I hit a great approach shot directly over the pin. You can hear a really good thump sound there. I managed to 3-putt this again, but I'm not too concerned. I find it really hard to give putts enough focus while juggling my videography responsibilities. So yeah, I'll work on the tempo, but I'm not too concerned about the putts.
Okay, that was a great day of golf. I almost had the course to myself. I played some decent shots, and I had a lot of fun. And back to my original goals, I came up with this list of to-dos for my next round. So 1, I'm going to try to keep my head more still with my irons. And 2, I'm going to work on tempo with my putter. So 1 especially, you could do a lot, but for my irons, I'm thinking just one thing. I'm going to focus on starting my downswing with my right hip and see if that helps. I've gotten that to work well in the past. I'm going to revive that. And then for putting, I used to have this mantra. I used to say 1 potato, 2 potato. You say that first potato in the backswing and the second on the strike. And I think I'm going to try to revive that out next time out, and hopefully that can improve my tempo. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Feel free to leave comments on the video, and we'll see you next time. Peace.